Hello and welcome to another video, and welcome to the first video of my new series, Let's Paint. And to kick this series off, I am going to be painting up High Marshal Helbrecht. This is just milliput. I've been working on something else which I'll be doing in my stream. So yeah, let's paint. So what we're going to be doing in the first part of this is we're going to be working on the brass armor. So first things first, the paints that we're going to need. I have some on my palette. I have some Rhinox hide, Doom Bull brown, Skull Crusher brass, and some canoptic alloy. I'll also be adding a little bit of black into that later on. So first things first, what we want to do, and for this tutorial I'm only going to concentrate on this leg rather than everywhere else. We need to base coat all of the brass areas with Rhinox hide. Just a nice thin layer of Rhinox hide. Like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this done all over the miniature. And then I will be right back. So as you can see, that is now all base coated Rhinox hide. So what we want to do now is we want to get some of this Skull Crusher brass, and it's quite a nice sort of yellowy brass. And then we would just want to add a little bit of Rhinox hide to it. We just want to darken that down a little bit, just for the initial base coat. So you want to be sort of that colour. So from there, we want to start covering. Like I said, for this tutorial, I'm only going to concentrate on this leg here. So you want to start getting the brass colour on. Now this brass colour, if you don't add the brown, it's quite thin. So you may need more than one coat. If you do, that's no problem. Just apply the first coat, let it dry, and then apply the second. And if you need a third, do that one too. As you can see, it is quite patchy because it is going to need more than one coat. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to get this fully coated, and then I'm going to be right back. Okay, as you can see, I have got that base coated. So what I want to do now is I'm going to get some pure Skull Crusher brass, just add a little bit of water to it. And then from what I want to do with this, I just want to give this a very light layer just over the tops of the uppermost parts. And then we're going to go into getting some soft shading. So what we're going to do is go and let this dry completely fully, and then we're going to start moving into shading it. Okay, now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to soft shade the miniature. So what I've got is a glaze of Doom Bull brown, and what I want to do is just get rid of the excess. Use the back of your hand, or if you've got a piece of tissue, you can use that. So what I want is I just want to start putting this glaze in, as so. And what this will do is it will just add a little bit of shadow into the metallic and get in these little recesses as well. So what you want to do is you want to keep applying this glaze till you're happy with how it looks. And then we're going to sort of go back in with a darker glaze before we start building up the highlights. But you want to be very, very careful and just take your time. This part does not need to be rushed. Like this. Okay, you can slowly see that building up. Too much paint on that. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to finish this off and then I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now is a bit more of a darker glaze. So what I've done is I've added a little bit of black to the Doom Bull brown. I'll thin that right down. So it's a bit like, again, looking for a real sort of dark brown. You could use the Rhine Oxide if you want to, but this is for the deepest recesses. So just being very carefully, just putting those in. You can come back with some pure black. And with the glaze as well at the bottom, and just glaze these bottom parts of the armor, and just where the shadows would be a little bit more. Like so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to finish off this and we'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to get some thin down black, and this is just for the deepest recesses. So this little thing here, like sort of casing, just want to drop some black into there, as well as around the front of the boot. Just allow the paint to come off the brush. This is a size 1 Rosemary CO Series 33, and then you just want to drop some black into there as well. That'll just deepen the deepest shades, like so. You can put it into the front as well if you really need to. Now with those done, what we're going to do now is going to start highlighting the model. So what we're going to get is a little bit of the brass base coat and a little bit of Canoptic alloy. Just mix those two together. So you probably want a 2-to-1 mix. 2 brass, 1 alloy. Now, the light is going to be coming down, so we want the light to catch the top of this, and we want it to be here, here, and on the top and in the center of the brush. So just using the same brush, you just want to do an edge highlight like this, and very carefully, you just want to pick that out as well. I'm going to be coming back in with some edge highlights very shortly. You just want to brighten up this point here. do that part there. I'll be doing those edges in a second. And then on the top of the foot. This is quite thin, but just pull the brush to the center of the foot. And then just follow the contour of the toes areas as well. But keep the highlight on the top of the foot. And then very carefully just do the tops of the armour. If you have to, what you can do is you can just get that colour and just feather it out, like so. Okay, so we're just going to let that dry, and then we're going to come back in for an highlight. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to do a highlight with the Canotip alloy. I think that's how you pronounce it. And all this is an edge highlight of all of the edges. This is a really, really nice colour. Very carefully. Just pick out the allies, the edge highlights. So many words in my head. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this and then I'll be right back. Okay, so there you go, got all the highlights on there. So if you want to just push those highlights a little bit, I'm going to get some Vallejo Model S Silver. I'm just going to put it into a little bit into the alloy just to brighten it slightly. And then from there, on the uppermost parts, just to push those highlights a little bit brighter. Like so. Especially sort of in this sort of center part here. Just on there. And that's it. Oh, last highlight, just all on the top. And that is how I'm going to do the brass armour on High Marshal Helbrecht. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish all this all off and then sort of black out everything else and then get ready to do other parts. But that's how High Marshal Helbrecht. So I hope you liked that video. And this will be a multiple part series. I'm going to be doing things like the tabard, the black tabard, the sword. I've also got the base is ready to go. And I'll be doing the base and the orc on the base as well, and then the head and the fabrics and stuff like that. So it's going to be as many parts of Helbrecht as I can. I will be doing individual paints. So thank you very much. If you like what I do, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. It really, really helps with the algorithm. Also, you can follow me on Patreon. There is links in the bottom. There are some affiliate links for Element Games and for Rosemary CO Series 33 brushes. If you do go and use those links, I do get a little bit of a kickback, and it does help the channel out. And you can also find me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/8pointstarpainting, where I stream 2 times a week at 8 p.m. on a Tuesday night, and on a Sunday from 12 o'clock in the afternoon and British Standard Time. So if you want to come around, chill out, chat, you're more than happy and welcome. So thank you very, very much, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.